All right, this is Nathaniel again, and today we're going to take a look at a 1979 Sun Harbor 41 aft cabin motor yacht. Nice flybridge up there. I don't have the bimini up, but she's got bimini up on there on the flybridge. And old, well-preserved, great condo on the water. Wonderful for putzing around San Diego Bay, but mainly partying on the dock or staying the weekend if you're coming in from Arizona or Nevada or Utah or Denver. Great place to call a temporary home here in San Diego. Let's take a look. All right, let's start up here at the bow. Well, first off, take a look underneath the water. The boat is cleaned regularly and was just painted in 2021 below the waterline. Above the waterline, she actually looks really nice as well. So you're not dealing with original gel coat on this boat anymore. She has been painted from tip to tail, bow to stern, with what looks like a two-part polyurethane paint. It's in great shape. Boat's nice and clean, easy to clean. You're not dealing with faded fiberglass absorbing every little bit of contaminant that you get on it. Up here on the bow, there is an electric windlass up there. It's not currently hooked up. It might work, but it's not hooked up to any motor or any battery at this point. Bow roller, there is a nice Danforth anchor in the dock box, but he doesn't keep that up front, just to keep its length down a little bit. A couple nice cushions up here for the bow for sunning yourself. And then as we continue back, do take a look. Like, it's a dewy morning, but this paint is really in nice shape. She needs to be sprayed down a little bit, but otherwise they did a good job on repainting this hull and top sides. Molded in non-skid here on the deck, so you're not dealing with a deck that had teak on it and the teak was removed and water intrusion issues, anything like that. This was molded on. You can see the texture in here, and up top, on the top of where the V-berth is here, there is custom non-skid up there. I don't know, maybe there was just no molded in fiberglass non-skid in the past. Now take a look. We do have a sunshade on the windshield. That's in nice shape and keeps things cool inside. And look at these windows. 3 very large windows for the salon. The center one being able to open quite far and give you a nice cross breeze. Here is the waste filler for the waste tank. That's an old one. There's only one waste tank on this vessel, so I'm sure the new one is the one you use there. And then, well, shore power thing for phone or TV, not in use currently. There's fuel filler. These vents here are just natural ventilation for the engine room. Let's walk around to the stern. Oh, this fantastic set of steps, which is actually quite sturdy, even though it's made of PVC, is included in the sale. Name of the boat is Anastasia, and yeah, it's a nice name. There's your shore power or shore water connection, and you can see the shore power runs all the way up here on that starboard side, just forward of the side entrance. Another nice thing about this boat is the lack of exterior teak. So you'll note that the steps back here are freshly varnished and in good shape. And then there's a little rub rail down there, rub strake. And also the door here, sliding, that is varnished as well and in good shape. The boat's been pretty well kept cosmetically, and there's very little varnish and bright work up top to take care of. So nice big swim step with a rail, so that's great if you want to do a little fishing or just not fall off the swim step when you're out and about. let's walk aboard. Oh, another fun thing to see here is this boat has a single motor, right? But it's a single Perkins 6.2354, and it used to have, I don't know if you can see under the water here, but apparently this owner removed some of the gear. It has two brackets under the waterline that were used to mount stern thrusters. They were hydraulic, I guess. Those are no longer on the vessel. But if you wanted to throw stern thrusters on, again, then you've already got some mounting brackets. All right, let's go up here on the flybridge. So up here, we have nice custom corner chairs. Boop, little seats. And here is the helm seat. This is just a standard, nothing custom up here. This is just one of those standard, like a pontoon seat, I guess. Nice bit of storage inside. It's in great condition. It's always covered. I just took it off for this video. Let's look inside these real quick. It's got room for your life jackets and whatnot. And then, but take a look at the electronics up here on the helm. Oh, number one, here's your anchor light. So that's new, easy to reach, easy to replace. Also note the bimini here. Right, that's a newer bimini. It's got the cover, it's on it, it's in great shape. On aluminum bows. And here we have compass over here. You can't quite see, there's a little bit of moisture in here from the morning. What is that? Is that your rudder indicator? And then right here we have an amp meter, a tachometer, oil pressure, and temperature. And then here are your controls, gas and shifter, forward, reverse, all the way up for neutral, back for fuel, back for gas. And it does have hydraulic steering, which is nice. Here's just the other one. There's the cover for the seat up here as well. But take a look at it. We are here at Marina Cortez, and just look at this vista. We're pretty close to the airport, but you really don't notice it that much. There's a military chopper over there. But here at Marina Cortez, there's a pool. I think there's a hot tub up there too. So decent amenities and within walking distance to the airport. It's just a great place to have a boat. Current slip fee on this, I believe, is around $800 a month. And the slip should be transferable, but that depends a lot on the buyer. Let's walk up to the bow. All right, so nice tall rails here. I feel pretty secure on this boat. All the way up front. Like I said, here's that bow roller. Electric windlass, not currently hooked up to electricity. There's your chain locker. And there is a Danforth again. It's just not currently on the bow. And these nice little cushions come too. Nice big newer Lumar hatch that is not original equipment on this vessel. These boats were built in Korea. And there's your horn. Shore power inlet. Nice big sliding door. Oh, I didn't unlock that yet. All right. Now this is your emergency hatch here for the aft cabin. You're actually going to come up through the head there. But now, let's head down below. 1, 2, 3 steps down into this massive salon. So one of the nice things about this boat is there's no built-in furniture, right? These couches are convertible to queen-size beds. And there's two of them. So you slide them out a little bit. You'll probably have a couple feet in between them and the center, but you've got two queen-size beds. You've got your V-berth up there, which has a queen-size bed. And then also a single for a little person. And then back here in the aft cabin, a centerline queen as well. You can sleep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people on this boat comfortably. And they'll just share 2 restrooms, and everybody will have a great time. Let's look here at the headliner. Headliner on this boat is in great shape. The owner also recently replaced the lighting, right, with newer fixtures as well. I don't know if you've already noticed, we do have this nice breakfast bar with 3 stools, a removable helm seat. You're never going to use this helm. Most people that have aft cabin motor yachts and dual helms in San Diego, number 1, you take your boat out when the weather's nice, so you don't have to come below. Number 2, it's just a better view, a nicer experience up on the flybridge, and especially since you have a bimini up there, almost guaranteed you're going to be using that helm 100% of the time. And now let's take a look here at this helm though. So we have our DC panel and AC panel on the left. This boat was actually in an Airbnb program or a hotel program here at Marina Cortez for years. And these owners bought it, I think we're at 12 and a half, 13 years ago now, and made it more their own. Now, in terms of hours on these motors, because this boat was in that Airbnb program, it's in a different situation. The owners of the vessel had to immobilize it for insurance reasons. So what we see here, and I think is probably correct, is 721 hours on the motor to start off. And then they immobilized the motor, and I believe it was at that time, or when they recommissioned, that they installed this new engine hour meter. I don't have maintenance records to justify this, but my best guess is that this boat has approximately 721 plus 233 hours on the vessel, so about 950 hours on it, which is not a lot for a boat that's 43 years old. Again, newer hydraulic steering by Wagner, and really simple helm. There's no electronics on this boat really in terms of navigation or radar or really much in terms of communication either. Is there not even a VHF on here? Anyway, so handheld VHF. Bring your iPad for navigation. Simple boat. You're just going to be putzing around the bay in this thing anyways. In the corner there, you can see an old inverter and a master battery switch as well. And this is actually a one of those electronic fireplaces, which does produce heat. And then we have a nice little TV. Before we head back to the aft cabin, a little bell. And ship's clock and barometer. All right, let's check out this aft cabin. 1, 2, 3 steps down. Boop. And look at this. Let me back up. Look at this walk around queen. You're not too crowded. However, they have made good use of starboard and port sides of the vessel, because take a look. You've got big hanging lockers. This thing is huge. You put all your dresses in there. And other side too, nicely finished. And they went through and redid some of the varnish on the interior here, but nicely decorated. Big port lights that all open, so you can get plenty of cross breeze back here, ventilation. And then what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, just a nice little layout here. three drawers there, 3 drawers there. Opening cabinet, bookshelf. We've got another TV mounted up here. Let's take a look over here. This is the separate shower stall, right? Very nice. And let's go over here to the head. And so again, we've got that escape hatch, but you do have also a nice large port light that opens for ventilation in here, and an electric head. And over here, hot and cold fresh water, nice big mirror, and some storage below. And then another little vanity or medicine cabinet up top there. All right, and again on this side, basically a mirror image of. All right. Now underneath the stairs is where you'll access the engine room. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. All right, here we are. So here's the galley. We have a 4-burner propane stove, microwave, under counter fridge, nice and clean and empty. And then over here, sorry about the quick movements there, a double stainless steel sink with newer faucet, toaster oven. Got some storage up here for spices, stuff you don't want to see. Spice rack, wine rack, newer lighting down here as well for drawers up here, which are probably going to be your everything drawers. China cabinet, more spice rack, some more drawers, and of course some storage underneath the sink. Various cleaning supplies. Well laid out, compact galley, but plenty of room to work. Now we'll take a look at the forward head. All right, again, another electric head, shower with its own controls, so you're not pulling the shower head out of the sink on this guy. And they just use it as a wet one, but you could put in a curtain if you wanted to. There's the number of the vessel. That's a decorative hatch. 2 opening port lights in here for ventilation. Nicely organized and laid out. And of course some more storage underneath the sink as well. Nice clean bilge in here. And then you do have access to the forward V-berth from here as well. Sort of a Jack and Jill setup. All right, so here's the V-berth, or the forward stateroom. And so you have a large, almost queen, maybe it's a full, but definitely big enough for 2, bunk there. And then over here, you could put a little person on here. Well, actually, you could put a big person on here too. This bunk is plenty long. You just have your feet underneath the bed there, and pretty cool. And then up here, some nice little book racks. I don't see really evidences of water intrusion on this on the woodwork in here. A nice big hanging locker as well. What else do we got? Oh, another hanging locker over here. Tons of space on this boat. And would you look at that? Another electric heater. And makes the cool flames. You can adjust it with a remote control. So yeah, very nice. Oh, and then there is some storage underneath this V-berth as well. A little dark down there. Big drawer. All right. Now from here, we can get into the anchor locker as well. Like I say, the windlass is not plumbed right now, but that is the master switch for the windlass. Just have to rewire it. And here we have chain and 3-stand poly rope. All right, let's get out of here. Now here, behind these stairs as well is another access compartment or access panel to get into the engine room. All right, quick pan over there. And now we're going to turn on the engine room lights. Okay, and we will enter the engine room from the aft cabin. All right, now looking up here as well, there is no access from above to these motors. They've put this I don't know, linoleum type flooring down, which makes it nice and easy to clean. You're not dealing with hatches of any sort. So that's your access there. Now, I think we're gonna have to turn on the flashlight in here. All right, let's get into this engine room. So what we see here is an engine room of a boat that has real easy access to the motor because there's only this single Perkins 6.2354 motor. It is turboed, and it starts right up. She smokes a little bit. She's an old Perkins. They're sort of loose motors, but the smoke does clear up eventually. And yeah, she's had some recent work done, or at least in the last decade, because she had to be recommissioned when they took her out of the Airbnb/hotel program. But you know, she's not perfect. But over here on the left-hand side, or the port side, you see the steel fuel tank. She's got some surface rust, but I see no indication of a leak of any sort. Over on the starboard side is the, looks like, what was that? Fiberglass? Looks like a fiberglass water tank, as well as a newer poly poo tank, and it's actually quite a large waste tank. Down here below, you can see the coupling from the transmission to the motor, and then that single drive shaft. We can take a look, well, not quickly. I'll try to splice in a little image of the shaft seal. There's the drive shaft, packable seal. And then there's a couple of batteries. I believe that's your house bank. And then it might share a house bank and a start bank, honestly. We shall see. All right. All right, here we are in the engine room. Let's take a look around. I've got the flash on. On the starboard side, you'll see the water tank and the poo tank, the waste black water tank. On the port side is the steel fuel tank. I see no indication of any leaks, but there is some surface rust. Yeah, She doesn't leak. That's okay. And then here in the center, of course, is the Perkins 6.2354 motor. She does have a small turbo, and cosmetically she looks pretty good. She was recently painted, which is important, just to preserve the motor, to keep surface rust from turning into deeper rust. And then there's the exhaust. Exhaust system could use some attention, but this boat, it's a bay cruiser. She puts around nice and slow. Run her around 1,000 RPM, no problems. If you take her higher and you're trying to run her up in wide open throttle, I think that would take her out of her comfort zone. But anyways, here's the vessel. Here we are moving forward. Here's the front of the motor. All the way up. Here's the newer freshwater pump for your freshwater system. There's your ray cores for the fuel. Here is a, what are we at? There's a date on here, 2009 vintage 10-gallon AC water heater. They've used PEX for some of the connections. For some of the connections. There is an accumulator tank as well there, small accumulator tank to even out the water pressure. All right, come around this side, take a look at this side of the motor. All right, here's your starter, exhaust manifold, fuel pump. All right. Yep, fiberglass tank. All right, so that's the engine room. Here's the salon with all of the curtains closed, and these large, expansive windows. You can see out the front, but that's a Windows screen that you can just see out of and not in. But yeah, give you a nice little reprieve from all the activity on the docks. Come in here, take a nap, make love, wander around naked, whatever you like to do. Thanks for taking a look with me at this 1979 Sun Harbor 41 Anastasia. She's in good cosmetic shape. She's a huge space down below. A really kiss boat, right? Keep it simple. There's nothing complex on this boat. Easy to maintain. No custom upholstery. Complicated systems. This is a bare bones boat. Great for chilling out on the water here in San Diego. She's so close to the airport, you could just fly in and walk over here and stay for the weekend, get your paddleboard on, hang out at the pool in beautiful San Diego. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. This is Nathaniel. Bye.